motion. So you're going to face and look at it right here. This is what he's seeing, just so you guys know. So Bennett's going to put up the slide. Bennett, could you talk for one more? I'm worried I can't hear you.
Yeah, of course. Hi, thank you so much for volunteering. What's your name?
Perfect. Okay.
My name is Shuyi.
Oh, and we're going to record this, so you have it for later.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, did you say your name was Ree?
Shuyi, Shuyi.
Hi, Shuyi, nice to meet you. I'm Bennett, and I'll be your host for the simulation. So like Carrie said, let me just quickly share with you this slide. It'll kind of tell you a little bit about the scenario you're about to practice.
Okay.
Right, so Shuyi, just take a moment to read that through. Hopefully that little toolbar will go away. If not, I can read it to you. And for everyone in the room, I'll read it aloud. So, Shuyi, what you're about to experience is, in this simulation, one of your employees, Linda, she's generally effective. She's smart, dedicated, passionate about helping your external customers. Recently, though, she's responded with hostility towards some team members. You've witnessed it in several team meetings, and you've also received reports that Linda frequently loses her patience with her colleague, Steve, when trying to solve problems quickly. So you've got some objectives in this conversation. You want to actively listen to her concerns, ask open-ended questions to learn more about the situation, check for Linda's understanding about the implications of her behavior, and motivate her to take concrete steps to improve her interaction with her peers.
Okay.
All right? Great. All right, Shuyi, do you have any questions about the scenario? Shuyi, do you have any questions about the scenario?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Then I'll bring up Linda, and you guys can have your conversation. It'll last
Okay.
for about 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and give you some opportunities for feedback and reflection.
Okay.
Hi, Shuyi.
Hi, Linda.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Oh. No.
So what's up?
I would like to know your concerns. I mean, for these meetings, I know you are not getting along so well with Steve.
Well, I mean, I'm not really here to make friends, though, Shuyi. Steve's a difficult personality, and I've tried to work with him, but we just don't get along, and it is what it is, I guess.
So what's wrong with you guys? I mean, what did he do?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, there's nothing wrong with me, as far as I know. I think I think we can both agree I get along great with the customers, and I don't really have a huge problem when I'm dealing with people that respect me. It's just when when I feel like someone doesn't respect me, I think that I need to let them know that it won't be tolerated. So.
Well, could you please give me an example that Steve is not, respectful to you?
Sure, I can give you 1,000 examples of ways in which Steve doesn't respect me.
Anyone?
Sure, Shuyi. I mean, I'm surprised you haven't actually noticed it. So, I mean, that just, I think, speaks to sort of the female experience at this organization. But Steve in particular, I mean, I'm his superior. I give him, deadlines. I ask him to pull research for me, and he looks at me like, I mean, he's actually said to me, yeah, I'll get that, and I'm like, listen, this is really deadline-driven work, Steve. I'm waiting on this research, and he just sort of, I mean, the other day I was waiting for something from him, wasn't hearing back from him, and then I walked into the break room and he's just in there, telling people what his weekend plans are, just holding court in the break room. So I mean, I know what he's trying to do. And frankly, when the entire office sees him disrespecting me that way, I need to let him know in front of everyone that it won't be tolerated.
Have you talked to him about this issue personally?
I have. I certainly have, sure. Yeah. I mean, when I saw him in the break room the other day, I let him have it. And I know he was a little embarrassed and he kind of walked off in a huff, but you know what? I got the results. I got the research I needed. So, if that's how we have to deal with him, then fine.
So you think it worked out?
I mean, look, I think that I got what I needed, and I let him know, really obviously pretty clearly. Look, Shri, I mean, if he's gonna ignore me, then I'll call him out in front of everyone. It's his
Mm,
choice.
how about try to negotiate with him personally, not like in front of everybody?
What? I mean, I'm not getting the same value from me. Like, sure, he doesn't like call me out in front of anybody or anything like that, but he does actively ignore me. So,
Hmm. Okay. Now, pause. Okay.
All right, Shri.
Okay. Hmm.
So fantastic. So Shri, thinking about your conversation there with Linda, what do you feel like you did well?
Well, I didn't do well, apparently.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Shri. So what was your goal in this conversation with Linda? What were you hoping she would do?
I want to sell them in peace, but
Hmm.
so do I need to talk to Steve? I mean, instead of just to talk to her, because from her side, Steve is,
Sure. So let's talk about that, Shri. So that might have
Mhm,
been a reasonable thing to offer to Linda, right? Hey, so it
mhm,
sounds like I need to talk to Steve. It sounds like from your perspective, you're not getting the respect that you need, right? Sort of
mm,
honoring Linda's perspective, and then saying,
mm,
but in the meantime, Linda, since I've got you in front of me, let's talk about your behavior. But first, acknowledging that she's having at least from her perspective, she's having a real issue with Steve. So maybe
yeah.
just sort of giving her that benefit of the doubt and saying, you know what, I'm going to talk to him about his behavior, but let's talk about yours first,
Mm,
you know? Hmm.
what do you think?
Cool.
Uh-huh. Mhm,
Great. So you felt like you didn't do well, but I'm gonna say, Shri, I felt like you actively listened to Linda.
mhm,
You seem genuinely concerned, and I will say that you never pushed back on her experience. You never told her that her experience was incorrect or that she was behaving in a way. I mean, you only offered suggestions, and I think in
mhm,
that way, you really kept this conversation from escalating, which is a good thing because we know that Linda struggles with her temper, right? So keeping yourself calm and being
mhm.
really thoughtful and curious prevented it from escalating. So maybe you didn't reach your ultimate goal, but I do feel like you did a lot of things really well.
He did a good job.
Thank you, Shri.
So,